guys, Darren Fry here, and the topic of this video is gas fees explained on the blockchain. I know it's not the most exciting subject, but it's definitely something very important because we deal with gas fees for every transaction we make with all of our fungible and non-fungible tokens. So before I go into explaining virtual digital gas, let's first compare it to physical gas, something we're all familiar with. So let's take a car, for example, going from point A to point B. If that destination is very simple to get to and is during a time of no congestion and traffic, you'll get there very fast and you'll get there with a minimal amount of gas used. If you were to go somewhere complex and far during a time of rush hour and traffic, it'd take you more time and it will cost you more money and more gas to get to that destination. That's exactly how it works on the Ethereum blockchain. If you were to do a transaction, the more complex it is, the more gas fees you pay, the more busy the blockchain is during times of rush hour when everyone's awake and trading and moving their tokens and NFTs. It's going to cost more gas and take more time. So let's get into kind of the subjects and some of the main terminology, starting with the literal definition of gas on the blockchain. So gas can be defined as the amount of computational effort needed to execute an operation. 21,000 units of gas minimum, and the more complex the effort, the more gas is used. The gas goes to these miners as they invest computing power into updating the Ethereum blockchain ledger. And I want you guys to realize that you pay gas with every crypto that you use, whether it's Bitcoin and the mining fee, or Algorand, Cardano, Luna, Solana. There's so many different ones out there. A lot of them you pay much less than Ethereum until we have, Ethereum 2.0 and, scaling solutions that help us pay less gas because the congestion is just so busy, so active. You really have to look for windows to use Ethereum and transact when a majority of the world isn't. So that way you guys aren't paying, a crazy amount of gas fees. And at the end of this video, I'll give you guys some tips on how you guys can make sure you're always paying the best gas fee possible. So now let's go into the terms gas limit and gas used. The actual definition of gas limit is the max amount of gas you're willing to use for that operation, and this is a fee that's paid up front when you start your transaction. The gas limit for a transaction could be, let's say, 45,000 units. If the gas used was only 33,000 units to actually finish that transaction and get your confirmations, then you would have 12,000 units of gas refunded back into your wallet. The thing to understand here is if you run out of gas and you don't set a gas limit high enough, then you will not get a refund, because that's like going to the gas station, not getting enough gas to get to the next one, and hoping that gas station refunds you on the gas that you already used. That gas is lost, so you always want to make sure that you guys are setting gas limits high enough and understand that only a certain amount of that will actually be used, and the rest will be refunded back into your original wallet. So now that we've covered gas limit, and gas use, let's get into some of the units of measurement for Ethereum and these cryptocurrencies. So Bitcoin, as you guys might already know, can be broken down into a Satoshi, which is 1/100 millionth of a Bitcoin. That's kind of like a cent to a dollar, except different because we're dealing with deflationary digital currencies that are constantly rising in value. So eventually these smaller units will be used more in day-to-day life spending. So now when we look at Ethereum, one Ethereum is 1 billion gigaway. And when we look at what a gigaway is, also known as a Gwei, 1 gigaway is equal to 1 billion wei. When we're looking at calculating the total cost of a transaction on Ethereum, we multiply the gas used by the gas price to get the TX fee cost. The higher gas price we use will cause a faster transaction as it will be picked up by more miners faster. A lower gas bid will cause a slower transaction, and if you don't bid enough ETH on the price, then you will get ignored and your transaction might just be sitting on the blockchain and it won't get processed for a long time. So to end this video, I want to give you guys some major tips to help you guys save on gas fees moving forward and to be calculated with how you do spend it. I've spent probably way more than I've ever should have on gas fees over the years, and there's a lot of lessons and tools I wish I knew about earlier that would have saved me probably multiple Ethereum on gas fees over the last 2 years. So the first thing I would recommend is always being patient with gas. Typically crypto is something we do on our own times, at our home, on our own schedule. So start to really look at ethereumprice.org/gas, and you'll see when the gas is the lowest in your time zone, and really set your schedule to do your crypto trading, your staking, your unstaking, whether it's transacting, listing, delisting, sending crypto. It's always best to do it at a time of day where gas is typically lower because it adds up. Every time you transact, you pay gas. And until ETH 2.0 comes around, we're paying a lot more than we really need to be. So we want to be very efficient with how we use it. So make sure you guys are always looking at ethereumprice.org/gas. Look for the gas by time of day. And typically ETH is the lowest on Sunday at 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern, or Wednesdays at 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. Eastern. So that's just what I've seen personally. I've heard from a lot of my friends. So always be patient when you guys are making a transaction. If gas is spiking and it's crazy high and there's a lot of traffic on the blockchain, just wait and check back in 30 minutes or an hour, or maybe before bed, because typically at nighttime on the East Coast in the United States is when gas fees are the lowest. Another tip that I really wish I knew about sooner is also called Genie.xyz. This is a market aggregator, so if you guys are in the NFT space and you're paying gas fees to buy individual NFTs, Genie.xyz is a way that you guys can purchase multiple NFTs at once and bulk them together and pay less gas fees. So there's a lot of little tips and tricks. We'll continue to share more as we learn them. So with that, guys, thank you for tuning in. See you in the next video.